So, hello everybody, happy new year to all of you. I'm really happy to have you all here. Also, this which wasn't with us anymore in our Patreon. I want to thank all of you again in this special episode for the time and for the effort what you put on the trust what you give in me. Today I'm going to give you this special episode what I was promising you. This will be my first Q&A, so don't be too critic to me. I mean, I will need some 1-2 minutes to go into it, but yes, today I will going over all the questions you ask in the Patreon page under the post which I make for you. And all the questions can be related to tattooing, art, traveling, future plans, private, etc., everything. I mean, I really want to see what you're curious about, what you want to know from me, if I can share some other informations. Anyway, Patreon is for this. I mean, all the tutorials I let in YouTube, this direct information which I'm giving is there. Here I want to make it more private, more individual. I want to have a contact with you. Maybe I will make, if it goes good, I will make more Q&A in future. Anyway, we are growing. I never expect so big audience here in YouTube for me, in Patreon for me. So I'm also learning and I'm trying to give all my best. Anyway, it was a good time holiday. I hope you have also a good time. I was 2 weeks in my country spending time with the family, which because of this stupid situation last days I couldn't make. Last months, because of the COVID restrictions I couldn't go, and because of many different reasons. And I was more than 7-8 months I was not in my country. And now finally I had the time 2.5 weeks to spend with my family, to see my good friends down there, and I have a pleasant time there. I hope you have also great holidays wherever in the world you are. We have people from everywhere, from Venezuela, from Spain, from America. All of you, I wish you all the best, and I hope you had a great year. And I wish you all the best for the new 2021. As you know, 2020 was not the best year for most of us. But for me personally, I found myself in it, and I try to stay positive always. I really answer a lot of questions which long time I was searching in this year, and I finally had a time for me. Especially in this quarantine, I had a lot of time for me, and this is especially what bring me the idea to make my YouTube channel, to make one step up in my career, help on other people, and just give all what I know. Because in this year we start to understand that everything is relative. You know, it can change from today till tomorrow. Everything can change, and on the end it stays only what you give out to the world. And on the end it pays back in many ways, in really many ways. But anyway, after this long intro, let's start with the questions. Apologize me about the names. I'm really not good at spelling, and I will just say the names, and don't hate me on this. Probably some of the names I would say not correct, but whatever. This is not the most important, I guess, for you. And now the first question. 2 weeks ago, the first question. Wait a second, sorry. Exactly, the first question is from Eugene. He asked, "Merry Christmas, Ivan. I'm really glad I found your Patreon. What was, and maybe still, is the hardest thing for you to harness in tattooing? Lining, coloring, shading, etc. Maybe you can share with us your tattoo journey from nothing to your own studio in Switzerland. Cheers." First of all, Happy New Year to you also. Merry Christmas. I'm glad you found my Patreon as well. I hope I helped you till so far. And now about the question, what was the most difficult thing? See, now here I will answer a little bit different. I mean, technique, lining, coloring, shading, these are stuff which you can learn. Basically, you can learn stuff like this. For me, the most difficult thing in tattooing is to be creative, to come up with ideas, to make a special stuff. I mean, all this lining, color stuff, shading, I knew it since the beginning. I knew I would learn it. I mean, with hard work, with right exercises, I would be able to learn this stuff, and this was never a trouble. Okay, if I have to be correct, lining is still one of the most difficult thing for me, really proper good lining, but this is also only because I don't practice it all the time. I mean, my work is mostly realistic, and that's why I don't use a lot of lines. This doesn't mean that I cannot make lines, that I don't understand the principles, but to go into good straight lining, it's really maybe the most difficult thing. But to be honest, the real difficult is I found sometimes to catch the right creative idea and to make the nice composition which speaks a lot, etc. And this is what I invest my time in learning this stuff and how to develop this way of thinking a little bit outside the box and making my own style. I hope this answers your question. Is like always with me, it's not exactly what probably you're expecting to hear, but whatever, I try to be as much me as possible, so you know me better also. And now maybe you could share your tattoo journey from nothing to own shop in Switzerland. Pwah, this is now a long one. Probably this video today will go so long that you have to watch it on 2-3 times, but as I promised, I will try to really go inside and try to influence you one way or another with my story. So everything what is curious for you, here was the point where you can ask it. So how I start my tattoo journey? It was before around 10 years. I was like I many times I think I say it on one video in YouTube, but I was a sports player. I mean, I was training all my life. I was training a lot of martial arts, and after an injury on my shoulder, I took out my shoulder and I was out from the ring and from the sport at all more than 2 years. And on the end, I started to realize that the sport career would be not my thing. I mean, even though I love the sport and even though I really enjoy it and it was my passion and it still is, I started to realize that it depends too much on my body, and I would say that maybe my body is not made for this. So I decided to stop, and then I was searching for the new passion. All my life I'm searching for a new passion. And I found it in drawing, and I was drawing more or less a bit before, but never professionally. And then I just reborn this passion again. And then I started to go a little bit more in it and start to enjoy it a little bit more. And then I made my first tattoo actually before I was 16, 17 when I made my first tattoo. And I was really impressed. I was totally impressed from the whole situation, for the whole atmosphere, going into the tattoo studio, being next to this amazing person who tattooed me. I mean, the whole experience was so amazing that it stuck to my brain, and I say that I want to do it one day. You know, I just want to try. And on the end, everything in my life, when I give a try, I almost never let go. So the first few years I was working at home. Maybe 1.5 years I was work at home or the friends' homes and stuff like this, because my family was not the most supportive. I mean, they don't believe that the tattoo career is actually something which will make me money or which will allow me to support my family in future and stuff. So I mean, Eastern European poor boy, and my family, like with everybody, they expect that I would have this. I have to study and have a good job, working for somebody from 9 to 5. And to be honest, this was never my idea. This was never my plan. I didn't feel like enough creative, let's say, or enough fulfilled inside me if I had to work for somebody, or if I have to do a regular job which I just gave my salary and stuff. It was not me anyway. And then I stopped. I was in university with drawing, but it was more like designing. It was not like really art school. And then I decided to stop it. And then I against all the rules, against my family, against my friends and everybody, because in the beginning, of course, nobody believed really in you. And if you also don't believe in yourself, I think you're lost. So the only guy who believed in me was me. And against all the rules, I stopped everything and start to work as not apprentice, but I started to work in a shop where a good friend of mine, or the guy who made my first tattoo. He was well-known tattoo artist in my country. Still good friend of mine till today, by the way. And I started to work in his shop. He started to give me the possibilities to make the small tattoos there, or if I bring my own customers and stuff like this. And then the good thing is that because of my character and stuff like this, I had a lot of friends and a lot of support from people who want to give me the chance to train on them and to make my tattoos. I was also drawing almost every day in order to achieve better and better results. And like this, I started to get better and better, and then I started to travel. And I was working on a tattoo studio in a touristic place in my country. It calls Golden Sands, and there is per year, like it's like 4 to 5 months season. It's really a lot of tourists there. And all these tourists, these drunk kind of tourists, which make a small tattoos and stuff like this. Also, there was a cool tourist which make a little bit bigger tattoos, and I had a chance to work with so much people and making up to 10 tattoos per day sometimes. So I gained a lot of experience. And one day I met a friend, or it was not a friend in this time, but also till today one of the most special person in my life. My partner in the shop in Switzerland. He was in a holiday in Bulgaria, and he jumped in my shop, and then we get like, I don't know if you know this feeling, you meet somebody, you never know nothing about him, he's from completely different region, but it's like your soulmate. I mean, we had, it was his last evening, a day before his last evening when we make the appointment, then the next day he gets an appointment by me and I tattoo him. Then the whole evening he stayed with me, his last evening, and we speak like really more than 12-13 hours through the tattoo, and we start to get in really, really close relations for one day. And then he tried to invite me all the time in Switzerland, but not for work, more like to show me his country, to meet me with his friends and parents, and we start to build this trust with each other. A guy from Bulgaria and the guy from Switzerland, and I start to trust in him. But the problem is the only way that I have enough money to go and visit him in Switzerland was if I can work there or something, whatever. I mean, it was not even about the money. In this moment I just have I was poor. I mean, it's not that I was with a lot of money. I don't want to say that I was poor, like really no have money for food, but it was more like if I want to travel to Switzerland, it's unreliable, it's almost impossible, and I should cancel this trip. And then it jumped my idea that he can find me customers there for some symbolic price, some really small price that I can pay my tickets, and I can go and visit him. And then he fall in love in the idea, and then then the rest is history. He found me some people. Just to tell you, my idea was just to make some money, to can pay my tickets, to can stay there 3-4 days, and really to not be a heavy bag for him, because I was sleeping in his home. I don't want that he pay everything, because he's also not from a rich family, you know. And then he found me like 4 or 5 customers, and this was a crucial point. For these 4 or 5 customers, we made so much money that we couldn't believe. None of us was ever seeing something like this. None of us was ever expecting to make so much money in 4 or 5 days. And not only I pay my tickets, but I had the chance to come back, you know, and to build it as a business. And then, you know, with the time you start to believe in a person and you build a strong relation with him. And after years of working in Switzerland as a guest artist, this was my first guest spot in the wherever outside Bulgaria. Yes, and then we decided after 3.5 years of guest spotting every 2 months, like 2 weeks, and we decided to make our own shop. And till today he is a partner of my shop in Switzerland, in Basel. And we have a great relation, we plan to grow and stuff like this, and we never lie each other, you know. and he never regret me for something. I hope I don't regret him too. Betrayed him, I mean, not regret. So it's really special story. I hope it's not too long, but I felt like I can share this. And this is really in a short way, I promise. Maybe if you like this kind of stuff, in future we can make much more of this. My history journey, because I have so much stuff to share and so much stories that it's awesome. I think it's funny. Let me know in the comment if you enjoy this kind of episodes anyway. So maybe we can do it more often. Really, I don't want the Patreon to be tutorials, and everybody who expect from me to make tutorial videos here for Patreon, don't expect this, because I make this for free in YouTube. If you're only for the tutorials here, they will be mostly in YouTube. Maybe I could make once or twice if I have feeling to give some topic, like with the photos or something that I cannot give out in YouTube. I will give it for Patreon, but here is mostly really this kind of atmosphere, individual. You can ask me your questions, and it's not only about tattooing. It could be everything, you know. I believe me, I have a really big experience, even though I'm young, and I could be helpful for some of you. Find some answers that you're searching for, sometimes from the side view. However, this was a small deviation here. Now, this was the question from Eugene. Thank you for the question. Cheers, mate. Thank you to be here, and I hope to hear from you soon again. The next one is from, it's not a question, the Dejan say, Merry Christmas to you, buddy. Wish you all the best. Now the next one is from Bane Jovanovic. Ciao Ivan, I would like you to do some color portrait tutorials, skin tones, values and stuff like this. Fur tattooing also. Thank you very much. Bane, I said before 2 minutes, but yes, I made already quite a lot of color portrait tutorial, mixing skin tones tutorial, values and stuff like this. All this stuff, fur tattooing, everything what I felt like I have a good tattoo to show it, and I have a good idea, not just a random idea which will be just for the views in YouTube or in Patreon. I did it already. I have planned for much more to go, but like I said, really making a tutorial is not my specialty. It's not my only thing what I'm doing. It's really helping you, I know, and exactly because it's helping you, I try to keep it as clear as possible. So I'm not rumbling some random stuff which are a bunch of nonsense, like most of people just for the views. I really don't make it for fame, and that's why I also keep different auditory. I keep it for free in YouTube, the most of tutorials, so everybody have the chance to watch it. And here, for this symbolic price here in Patreon, I want to give a little bit special thing, like I said. So watch my stuff in YouTube. There are a lot, and they comes much more, believe me. I just don't want to make some random stuff and some nonsense videos or vlogging and stuff like this just to getting fame. This is really not the idea of the channel or in the Patreon. I'm not chasing a fame or something like this. I really try to help. So in order to help you, I try to keep my information as clear as possible, and this takes me a lot of time, and that's why I cannot post so much. I mean, even though I'm working 100% in my shop, I'm trying to post to 1-2 minimum videos per month, which is enormous, you know. It's really, believe me, it's difficult, it's tough. I don't complain, I enjoy it a lot, but yeah, be patient and understandable for exactly for this reason. That's why in Patreon I try to post more without voiceover, because if I post also in Patreon, for example, 3-4 hours tutorial, the real information will be like 5 minutes. The rest will be some repeating the same stuff, or I will just lose my time and your time in the same way, and this is not the idea of anything. That's why I give you the content which is like you're next to me, and then you're allowed to ask me directly, which in my opinion is the thing what makes sense here in Patreon. Ask me directly your questions, and I will try to go, if it's so much questions, I will go in a separate videos. I mean, we can make even more videos, but for this I need more questions, you know what I mean, to come up with the content and stuff. So try to understand the idea of Patreon, try to realize if if this is what you're searching for, I mean, I love all of you, and everybody who stay here and support me. It's so amazing. I try to give my best back. So even though when we're so much people now, I never believed that we will be so much people now, and I see it's growing every day, and this makes me so happy. So I think most people find value in this, and again, thank you all for this. The next one is Spencer. Hi Ivan, I appreciate the great content and wish you many blessings in the new year. My question is, what do you wish you would know in the beginning while you were teaching yourself to tattoo? I have an apprenticeship now, but I'm still teaching myself. Do you have a list or criteria of what you would develop or types of tattoos to learn and progress into? Any feedback would be greatly appreciated. Thank you, Spencer, for the question. I hope I get it right. It's a bit long. What are my criterias or types of tattoos to develop my skills? On the end, I think working, hard work pays off. Sooner or later, hard work pays off, and this is a speech which I believe hard in. So try to find as more customer, doesn't matter from the style, doesn't matter for the... Try to put your heart in it. I mean, of course, in the beginning, try to do more simple stuff where you have a line, where you have a filling color, shading and stuff like this. Tribals are the stuff which I start with. I don't know if we have a lot of people who are making tribals nowadays, but definitely I start with one of those, because there I had a good line. I can also shade it before I fill it, and I can practice the three main criteria or the three main stuff of the tattooing techniques, which are important to know. And avoid doing a lot of faces, avoid doing a lot of difficult, realistic pieces. These are really stuff which are a little bit advanced. First of all, try to learn how to make shadow clearly, how to make a solid color, how to make line and stuff. And letterings, small letterings, hieroglyphs was the stuff which I started with. A lot of Japanese style. By the way, I love Japanese style still today. I love Japanese style, and I love how the flow of the arms and the body types goes. And there you have lining, there you have color, there you have shading, black, everything. And then this learns me so much. So I would say that from the more advanced tattoos you can make a lot of Japanese or neo-traditional stuff, where you're able to stick your stencil with the line and then slowly and with a lot of passion do the shading, and always separate the stuff, first do lines, then you do shading, or then you do black, and then on the end make the shading and colors. So really make the good workflow. Always separate your tattoo, especially when it's a little bit more simple, separate it on few steps and do each step, as this is the only thing what you have to do today for this tattoo. If you have to do a tribal, do first the outlining, and do the outlining not rushing so you can go faster to the black. Do the outline perfect so you can learn in the process. And also, if you do the outlines of one project perfect, it helps you much more afterwards to follow the workflow and to make the good tattoo. So the beginning of every project is so important, and I see in many beginners to rush this step, and because of the beginning they started wrong, they fucked up the whole project on the end, and this is really not the good way of thinking. So I would say really try to have tattoos with a different type of techniques what you have to apply: lining, then black, then shadow, and if on the end color. So separate all this stuff on a different steps, like each step is the tattoo what you have to do the whole day today, and then go to the next only when you perfect the first one, and like this you will really grow fast. I hope this answer your question, if I get it right, but I guess even if not, this is a nice advice which you can apply to your work, and I hope I see some progress in you in future. make sure you post your work in the Discord chat. And guys, use the Discord chat. I mean, I see it active the last days. I really enjoy seeing your thoughts there, and believe me, if I see something that I don't like or if I don't agree with it, I will go into and lead the conversation in the direction which my opinion is. So if I don't involve myself so often in some of the questions, this is because you get a really nice answers from the guys inside. We have few experienced people there, and I want to thank all of them. I will not say names, but I really appreciate some guys there, which gives an extremely nice answers. And yeah, you're doing great job. Ask your questions under the daily question tab. So here is the thing what I want to say about the Discord chat. On the Discord chat we have a different tabs, and we have only Patreon tabs. This means these are the daily question. I think it's in progress there. Critique me. You can see this is with the hashtag only Patreons. This means that only the guys from Patreons can post there, and mostly this is without any spam. Even though I try to avoid the spam through the whole Discord, only Patreon tab is from the people which are into the Patreon. So there I really actively read everything, and I try to also control this stuff from hate and from anything. So ask your questions there, and be sure that I'm going over it and I'm going to see everything. And this was the only thing what I want to say. All the other tabs are for free. These are the tabs where everybody can go. We have more than, I don't know, maybe 300-400 people already in the Discord, which is a really big amount of people. And there comes also a lot of nice discussion, but the special tab for Patreons are the only Patreon tabs. So make sure you check them out and post there your questions all the time. Now, Amit Shamir is the next guy. Hi Ivan, thanks for all the content and Merry Christmas. I would love for more real-time black and gray tattoos with some tips and tricks along the vid. Maybe even with subtitles. Again, Amit, real-time videos are 3 to 4, 5 hours sometimes, so it's really difficult to give tips and tricks. Anyway, I'm not the guy who gives tricks and tips. Mostly I speak about fundamentals and important stuff which you need to know. There is a lot of YouTube content about tips and tricks, how to pull line, how to make this, how to make that. This is really not the idea of my YouTube channel. This is really not how I see I can help you the best. I can help you the best to start to understand this stuff, not only the technically but also fundamentally. And these are also to teach you, in my opinion, how for me it works the best, the right workflow of the stuff, the right way of thinking, the right concentration to have, the right way of working and stuff like this. And now, for example, maybe even subtitles. First of all, I have no fucking idea how to put subtitles in my videos, and it looks like I will lose like 2 weeks to make subtitles on one video. So you have to put also some effort, bro. If in order to learn something, you have to, if you don't understand English, you have to learn a little bit English. So it's really, I try to do my best, believe me, I try to do my best, but you have to do your portion as well. Believe me, I give a lot of information. I'm also not hiding anything. And if you can find your questions, your answers inside the videos, wherever, but you just have to dig a little bit and do your own work back. So I hope this is not harsh to you, but yes, I'm doing as much real time and any tutorials as possible. They're mostly, like I said, for YouTube. Patreon is for different kind of content. Patreon is not more tutorials. Tutorials are for YouTube. Sometimes I will give tutorials, of course, for Patreon, but Patreon is for a different purpose. And the videos for Patreon are mostly because I want to post more, and there is people who really see the stuff visually. They need to see visually the stuff, and I give here the chance to watch the whole process. I don't care about views, I don't care about clicks, comments, likes, subscribes and stuff like this. It's really, I post the complete video, the real-time video. You can watch it with some nice music, in my opinion. Maybe some of you watch it without the music, whatever. But you can watch the whole process, analyze it, see what you need to see there, and then ask me the question, and then I'm going to answer it. This is the idea of Patreon, and I hope each of you understand it before they subscribe. That's why I write it under the tier, what exactly you can imagine when you go inside here, and read before subscribe and know what to expect. And this is what I can say. And the next question is from Federico Cavaro. He's one of my first Patreons, and especially, bro, I see a really big progress in you. I'm really, really proud that you're part of my Patreon. Thank you for being here. I see you often writing comments and be active, and I see also your progress in work. Amazing, really. Thank you for being here and trusting me. Now, he's writing, "Hi Ivan, Merry Christmas. Could you share in depth what do you think it makes a composition more outstanding, or your personal thoughts regarding that matter? I know you already spoke about it on a Che Guevara portrait, but maybe a lengthy message would be great to know. How do you approach this topic? I get to rely on the rule of thirds, study on the old masters, sometimes complementary colors for important elements. I usually make a small sketch on a paper to organize the elements, and then let go with searching for the picture and start working on a digital this way. I can get a map or several to follow to achieve things. Once again, thanks for creating this community and putting so much effort for sharing your knowledge." Thank you very much, bro, again for the nice questions. Merry Christmas to you too. And about composition, like I said, I speak already really short about it in the Che Guevara video. You mentioned it right. Now, I can share with you how I make my compositions, or how I think every time to make my compositions. And one of the most important stuff when I'm doing something is to have the idea, and either from the customer or from me. I mean, I need to have a plan in my head before even I start to search for reference, before I start to make any sketches and stuff like this. I'm working mostly in realistic, so the sketches are more afterward. If I need to practice something, if I want to try value change and stuff like this, or add some new light source inside. But mostly I follow the idea which I have. And the way I composition the stuff is always I try the main idea to be like 80% of the tattoo. This means if I'm working on a shoulder to the elbow project, I try the whole part of the shoulder to the elbow project, like 80% of this placement to be my main idea. Without any distractions, without any background, without many things happens in the background and stuff like this. I try to keep it as simple as possible. Like this, I found it, first of all, look much better in my opinion. I like massive work, like big work. I don't like this small mini realism stuff which are trendy at the moment. It's not sustainable in my opinion with the years. It's not something which lasts forever. So I really like to work big. Creativity comes from the way of thinking again. I try to try different stuff, to make it bigger than normal, or to make it more crazy, or stuff like this. I try different stuff. But my main idea when making composition is to catch the idea which I want to do and make it as big as possible, so I don't need to distract the viewer from any other small stuff happening around. I will add something only if it helps the main picture to jump up. And this is exactly what I'm searching when I'm making composition. Now when I'm searching, for example, for references, once I have the idea, I have also a video how I search for reference, but once I have the idea, I go deep and start to find the pictures which I didn't see, or at least which are not the first 2-3 which comes from Pinterest and stuff like this. And I work digitally mostly. I open up the placement of the body which I'm going to tattoo. I open it in Procreate or in Photoshop, and then I just catch the first few pictures which could work for my idea. For example, if I have to make woman face, I find the placement of the body, wherever it will be, if it's muscular or not, or if it's skinny or fat, and it depends of this. I make in my head some imaginary composition, and then I start to search for the different portraits. For example, if it's a portrait which could work my purpose and have a good lighting and stuff. So I download all the stuff which I like between 5-6 pictures at least I'm downloading. Especially if it's a full back project and stuff like this, there the process is really long, because to fill the arm is one thing, but to fill the full back with a good composition is really something way more difficult. And once I have these few pictures, I start to apply them in a different positions, in a different angles, in different sizes, till I catch the one which I feel is good. And then I just add stuff only if necessary. Most of the time there is some small necessity. I don't know if it have some word like this, but it's necessary sometimes to add something into the piece. And I try to follow this flow, you know what I mean? Start from the idea, search the reference for this idea, find something which I like, start with it, and then start to adjust this stuff on a fly, let's say, with just adding some stuff which would help the main object to pop up. And there is some rules, of course, to apply a good composition, but I think most of you know it. I mean that the picture have to always look forward for the body, not backwards, like to put the face looking backwards on the arm through to the back and not in front. But these are the stuff which I assume most of you already know, and if not, we can discuss in the design idea sections all the time. But yeah, this was more or less my workflow. I'm working more digitally. I'm making sometimes, for example, a sketching as well. If I want to try to add some light source or some extra shadows, drop shadow and stuff like this in order to make it more dramatic or more interesting, then I'm making sketch. But yeah, most of the time I'm working digitally and I'm pretty happy with it. But before when I was not so experienced, I was doing almost every third or fourth tattoo a complete sketch. So I get used to the design, and this is something which I recommend to all beginners or all the people, for example, also intermediate people. If you're not familiar with the design, do a fast sketch. Try to understand how it works, and then it will be much easier for you to apply all these rules, what you learn on the sketch on your tattoo. I hope this answers your questions. And one more from you. I would like to know if you have any tips to make a good portfolio regarding consistency, style and presentation. Also, if you can share who are your favorite painting artists, like the top tattoo artist video you shared, it would be nice. Once again, thanks a lot. Now, I would like to know some tips about a good portfolio. See, I think, and I believe, again, I said, in the hard work and the consistency and discipline. I think you can build a good portfolio with, first of all, making good photos. Most of the people have a lack of knowledge of making good photos. Make good natural photos. I already make a video, I think, on this. Make them every time in the same environment, like a same background, or at least similar, so it's recognizable. Make it clear for the person to understand what he's watching, what he's following, and don't fuck with your audience, you know what I mean? Each of us, me, you, Each of us have his own audience. If it's small or big, doesn't matter. And don't mess up with them. I mean, they trust you for something. Like you're trusting me for now for Patreon, and I try to be as clear and as honest as possible. Exactly the same applies for you. Your audience watching and follows you for some purpose, and they like something in you. Try to show them the best out of you with your pictures. Make a good photo. Show the reality in the best way. I mean, I don't mean that to fake something or something. Show the reality in the best way, and show it consistency. Really. Post every day. At the beginning, post even 2 times a day if you can. Post the same tattoo 2-3 times if you're proud of it. Post wanna-dos. Post different stuff. Post everything what is passionate about your work. And of course, if we speak about the professional portfolio, it will be all related to tattooing. But it could be everything, wanna-dos. Make your Instagram account, for example, I'm speaking about Instagram, for example, make your Instagram account look more friendly. You know what I mean? Put in your bio, who are you, what are you doing, where they can find you, your telephone number, address and stuff like this. Check my account, for example. Put important information that the people know you a little bit more. Try to show them everything what you like to show them. Lead them in the direction that you want to lead them, and they will follow. And this is what I can say for the good portfolio. Good portfolio is taking years to build a good portfolio. But with the right direction, you will build it up in a really good way. Just you need to work consistently, then make a good photo, then post it with a nice description, and the people start to know you a bit better, and they start to believe you. It's a long process, but it pays off 100 times, believe me. I'm not the most famous tattoo artist, since I didn't believe myself, as I told in my last video, I didn't believe myself in the social media. And since 1.5 years I tried to push it a little bit more to this direction. It started to pay off, last year, let's say. And it's really long work. Sometimes it's boring, but it's really important. Just do the work, and the people will start to follow you. Step up your technique, your tattoo quality, and always give quality first. Doesn't matter if it's to your Instagram audience or if it's about your clients. Always give quality first, give your best, give everything for your audience and for your customers, and they will pay you back. This is not a question. And also you can share who are your favorite painting. Oh bro, this is a hard question. I mean, I get influenced by a lot of different people. I like to go to museum a lot. For example, here in Basel, where I'm located, it has a lot of nice museums, and one of them is the National Art Museum or something like this. And there I have I saw a lot of pictures from Rembrandt, Dali, Caravaggio and stuff like this. Da Vinci I saw also once, and I get influenced by many artists, really a lot of artists, also a lot of digital artists I like. I don't want to say some names because there are really a lot, and even sometimes I don't know the names. I just follow them in Instagram or if in some books, or like I said, in the museums. I have a folder with some people, and I enjoy the art in every specter, let's say. So there are really a lot of artists which I admire. Also a tattoo artist I admire, like I make already the top 5 tattoo artists in my opinion for me. And this is a difficult question. If I have something in mind, I will write it down under the comment after. So once again, thank you a lot for the question. Now the next one is Andrea. Hi Ivan, can you share some secrets about the time management? I mean, how can you find your time to do everything that you're from being amazing tattoo artist, I guess? From having time to draw, tattoo artist, and managing your own tattoo shop, to having time to improving yourself into drawing and painting, from creating great YouTube tutorials to having time to teach your student. answering all your questions on Discord chat, and taking to each one of them in a private. In my opinion, the way you manage our time could be a big part in our evolution. Lots of thanks for all of the things that you do for us, and thanks for keeping me inspired. Now, this is Andrea. She's part of my mentoring program and she's amazing. First of all, thank you very, very much for your... I think it was not even a question, it was more compliments. And I really, really admire all your words, and this is one of the big reasons why I enjoy so much Patreon, because of people like you guys. It's really emotional, and I really, really enjoy reading and answering all this question. And for example, this also answers your question maybe. I'm enjoying doing everything. You know what I mean? Everything what you write, being tattoo artist, time to draw, managing your own tattoo shop, having time to improve yourself, drawing and painting, all this stuff is my passion. I feel all this stuff like my hobbies. And it's the same if you ask me how you find your time for hobbies. Everybody find time for his hobbies. Somebody like to watch Netflix. I mean, I never watch Netflix, for example. Somebody like to go fishing. I never fish. You know what I mean? It's really, this is my life. I enjoy it. I have also a family. I have a young kid. I try to spend also as much time with him as well. And it's my life. I love what I'm doing. I love being surrounded from you. I try to give my best to be as much as possible around all of you guys. And this is just my passion. Time management is only when you have a stress with the stuff what you're doing. You know what I mean? It's really none of this stuff. Okay, the technical part of making videos is a little bit boring, let's say. I mean, the idea, the creating of the video is all good till the moment I have to sit 6-7 hours and cut the video and make the post-production. But even this is fun in some way. So I try to find the balance between work and family, of course. I try to spend the Sundays like 2-3 hours. I try to spend always with our mentoring guys, you know best. And the rest I try to give the Sunday for my family. Monday is mostly about my tattoo shop, business stuff, and also some of the YouTube stuff. And also I'm doing also much more different stuff than only YouTube and only tattoo artists and having a tattoo shop. But like I said, I'm really trying to lose as less time as possible in Netflix, social media and stuff like this. Even though I'm a social media person, I try to not spend like hours in Instagram or TikTok. I don't even have TikTok. So I try to manage my time to the stuff which help me develop my personality and improving myself, because this is the best investment of time what you can to give for yourself. The best way to spend your time, I can say it like this, is to invest it in yourself or in development of yourself. And this is what I try to do. I try to read a lot of books. For example, when I'm working, I like sometimes to listen to audiobooks which help me to stay inspired all the time. And in the evening, when my kid fall asleep, instead of me watching Netflix or losing my time with some going out and drink beers, I just sit and, for example, write a script for the next video, or think about what I can learn more, or paint a painting. If I need to have, for example, if I have a difficult tattoo on the next day, if I have the feeling that I am not prepared for something, I have joy to do the work before, so it's easier for me after. And like this, I really never have pressure on me, because I have time for everything. Everybody of us have 24 hours per day, and each of us have to find a way which makes him happy to spend these 24 hours, because this is the only thing what you cannot buy anymore with money or anything, and this is the time. And for me, exactly the stuff what you say in the comment, all the stuff what you say is my passion or my love, and I'm doing everything with love, so I don't feel pressure to do it. And till now I find a balance. I mean, as more and more stuff I'm doing, I start to see that maybe sometimes I'm a little bit overworked, but then I will just stop the stuff which bring me least joy, and I will always stay with the stuff which bring me the most joy. And for the moment, all the stuff what you mentioned in your comment are the stuff which makes me happy. The only thing probably which I couldn't find enough time is the sport, which makes me extremely sad. At the moment I can train only once a week, and in my opinion this is too less. And for 2021, one of my goals is to find like 2 hours per day or per 2-3 times a week, to find time to go and start again train. But I think this was because of my child. It was a little bit difficult exactly there to time managing. I have to make the sacrifices always, and I sacrifice the stuff which are least important at the moment, and this was the sport. Even though it is my health, I sacrifice it in order to spend more time with my son and to build the audience in YouTube and then make the Patreon and stuff like this. I think from this year I can spend a little bit more time in sport, because my kid is a little bit grown up and he fall asleep a little bit later, so I can see him after work and stuff like this. It's really, managing time is just set priorities, in my opinion. As long as you set the right priorities, it's easy to just add or delete stuff out and in. Thank you for your question. It's really nice, and you're right. The big part of our evolution is to find a way to manage your time properly. And in my opinion, the right way to manage your time properly is to invest it in your self-education. So this is what you're doing, for example, is with the mentoring program and with tattooing, is to practice and stuff like this. This is investing in yourself. So as more time you invest in this, as better you will feel. The next guy is also from my mentoring program. His name is Evelyn. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Maybe will be interesting to tell the story and tips about opening your first shop, first convention, what to expect, and etc. What is to be a guest artist, how to find the spot, things like this. Thank you for the question, Ivo. Now about my story and the tips about opening my shop. The story I already said earlier in this video. The tips about opening the shop. It's again, like I think I already mentioned in the beginning of the video, but it's when I was opening my shop, I was sure that what I want to give. I mean, I want to spend this time not working for somebody else, but building my own thing. And this brings me to the idea to make my own shop. Otherwise, I mean, we as an artist, if you work in a good harmony, you don't need to have your own shop. I always say it. You have to feel. I mean, sometimes it's good to work in a bigger shop with a lot of artists, and it's really difficult to build it. This is what I'm trying to do, for example. And sometimes it's better to work just in a shop where they respect you, they give you enough work, and the work is good, and the colleagues are nice, and the bosses are cool. And sometimes this atmosphere is even nicer. So opening a first shop is just if you have the feeling that you want to open a shop, you would know the answer why you want to open it, if it's the purpose of money or if you want to build a big audience. But if you open the new shop only because you want to open the new shop, I think this is not the right idea. And yeah, I'm always followed by a dreams and by a big idea, so maybe it's just me, but yeah, my idea was to be like the next thing what you ask, the conventions. I want to be in more conventions, I want to grow more, and this was just blocked if I was in Bulgaria, and I didn't find a shop which actually makes me happy to work in. And that's why I decided to make my own. And I wanted also to work with a lot of artists, which I already did. I mean, in my own shop I speak about, and I was working with some of the best artists from Bulgaria, and this is a big honor to me that they work in my own shop. So this was my dreams when I opened my shop, and on the end, all the stuff, the other stuff, the documents and stuff, this is easy. It's more like the idea and to put the love in this shop, and it's gonna work. About the first convention was in Bulgaria, 2015, I guess. It was funny. It was funny experience, and I met a lot of artists. The best thing around the convention is that you can find your idols there, or the favorite artists which you follow long time ago. You can really go and find them there in the conventions. You can take the chance to see them, how they work, even sometimes to speak with them. And this was what makes me on the end push me to make conventions. And the first one was in Bulgaria. Of course, everybody starts with his local conventions, or at least everybody should start with his local conventions to see what is the atmosphere around the tattoo industry. And then, I mean, conventions you can watch on two different parts. One is if you're working there, and the other one is if you're visitor. Because if you're working, then these local conventions work good. But if you're a visitor, I suggest you to go on the big conventions to see where the real shit happens. Most of the big conventions like Milano, Paris, London and stuff like this, they're only invitation only, and not everybody can go there. But as a visitor, you can go and meet really every artist which you have in mind. So if you ask me for the conventions as a visitor, I advise you to go on the big conventions like Milano, Paris, and now it's difficult nowadays, but mostly I suggest you to go and see all the stuff. But to work, for example, on these big conventions, I prefer maybe the small ones. Now, I mean, everybody has a dream to work in Milan and stuff like this. And once you did, I was working in Milan, in Barcelona, in Brussels. And these big conventions where it's full of rock stars, for example, it's a little bit different atmosphere than, for example, the small conventions like Lyon, like Lorach. This is the conventions here near me, and they're so cool because the atmosphere is much more familiar, and this is what I like on the end. And you have the really after parties in Zurich, for example, and Lyon and Epinal. These are the after parties after the conventions where all the tattoo artists are together. For example, when you go in London, there are 600 tattoo artists, and for sure it's not possible that all these 600 tattoo artists go on the same place, and some of them are really famous, they separate from the other ones, and the atmosphere there is a little bit different than when you go in the small conventions like Lyon, for example, and you have the organizer, or the guys are most local. And it's really cool atmosphere because you have time to spend time to speak with the people and to enjoy your time there. So as the experience of visitor, big conventions are amazing because they're more interesting, but as experience as a tattoo artist and to work on a convention, I like more small conventions. This is my personal opinion. I mean, I have worked on a big conventions, and it's like I enjoy it because there is a different world. And for example, when you have a prize win in Milano, like I had blessed to have a third place on Milano in colors, and then when you go to the stage with Benjamin Laukis and another great artist, it's really nice. But atmosphere through working is different because I'm mostly working on, especially on these big conventions, I'm working like 20 hours, 2 days in a row, and you cannot see the whole convention like this when you're working there. And I really enjoy this. I really enjoy conventions. Last year I did like 12 or 13 conventions, so I highly recommend it. And if you never do it, maybe try once, go in some big conventions like Milan, go watch, see what happens, and then start with your locals and slowly go bigger and bigger and into the industry and into the conventions. Guest artists, just make a good portfolio, every tattoo shop, not every tattoo shop, every good tattoo shop work with some kind of guest artist, and if you give them enough quality, they will give you a chance. Maybe it's a little bit more difficult nowadays because everybody try to make guest spots. Find the place or the shop which is working with the guest artist, prepare a good portfolio, speak with a lot of respect, and tell them what they can earn from you, or how they can use you in their purpose, and don't speak about yourself when you're applying for job or for guest artist. And I think if they feel a value in you, many shops will take you as a guest artist. But this is a little bit more difficult. Maybe first you have to start with conventions, because I have a lot of offers, for example, on the convention itself. When I was working a good piece on the convention, they asked me for a guest spot. So maybe this is also not a stupid idea to work on the convention, make even for free some nice piece, and then there maybe somebody will see you, invite you on guest spot, and the whole flow start to go like this. And conventions are maybe the first step. I think this is more or less what I can say about your topic. Thank you for the question. Thank you for being part of my mentoring program, and we will hear us very soon. There is 3 more questions. Wow, it's already 1 hour. It's a really long video. I enjoyed a lot. Now let's go to the next 3 questions, and the third one from 3 is from Anthony Strokes. How you studied art fundamentals and were able to simplify them for tattooing. Also, hardest lesson you have learned in tattooing, and things you would have told your younger self on this great journey of being an artist. Amazing question. Thank you for this one. How you study fundamentals and were able to simplify them for tattooing. I mean, I'm self-taught. I was never in real school, art school. I learned a lot from books and from other artists, and a lot of practice. And I guess with the time, just you start to simplify the stuff to the tattooing. There is, in one video I say that the tattooing is just different way of drawing. I mean, it's a different medium, let's say. It's nothing more special or less special with it. I mean, once you have the technique, you can make almost whatever you want with the tattoos. So I don't see some big difference between painting on a wall or tattooing. Just it's a different medium, like I said, and for every different medium you have to apply different techniques. But on the end, the fundamentals I apply till today. And what I would say to my younger self, draw more, draw with passion, study, practice, work, and that's it. Give always value to your customer, and discipline, work with a lot of passion, tattoo every day, draw in the free time, and like this you will become whatever you're fighting for. If you want to become an artist, or if you want to become only tattoo artist and stuff like this, it's really hard work pays off. I repeat myself again, just enjoy the process. Try to be not so critic to yourself as I was in the early stages, and I think all of us is one idea more critic to himself as necessary. Like I said, enjoy the process, give a value first, and you will develop yourself as an artist 100%. Now the next one is Pick on Basement. Happy New Year, Ivan, and all of you. I would like to hear your opinion on the importance of drawing on paper or whatever medium versus drawing on skin. Happy New Year, bro. I think I answered Anthony with more or less with your question. Painting on skin, drawing on skin is just a different medium. Learn the technique and apply the stuff what you learn on the drawing on paper. For example, I see drawing on paper as an exercise which prepare you for understand the rules or some to experience stuff on paper, so you're not improvise a lot on the skin. This is the only difference between, because on the skin you really have no chance to make a lot of mistakes. But painting and drawing on paper are really important to learn. Important phase to learn, to study, to make your studies. These are the places where you can make your studies, not on the skin. So if you're not sure about something, it's really, really, really important to draw it on paper or on different medium, because if you draw it on paper, you can throw the paper away, but with the skin it's not exactly the same. And that's why I tell always, if you're not sure in something, practice it fast on skin, on a paper, and prepare your mind and learn the lesson what you want to learn on the paper instead of on the skin. But yeah, other stuff, it's really important. Short answer is it's really important drawing on paper, and especially properly drawing on paper. And the last question is from Vohi. He's also a guy from my mentoring program. He's a very beginner, but I also seen him a really big progress, and I want to congratulate him for this. And he's saying, hello, I would like to know what are or were some of the turning points, leaps in your career. Like sometimes you feel stuck, you try hard, but there is no development. Then all of the sudden, bam, you do a tattoo and you feel like you level up. And this happen every day, bro. This happen every fucking day. I mean, there is, in every artist, I guess, there is a point where you feel stuck. You feel like lack of creativity, lack of technique, some outside external stuff which disturb you and you cannot focus on your work. I mean, just go forward. This is the advice that I can give you. Everybody of us stuck into this stuff. Every one of us, not me, not only you, each of us is stuck one way or another on his daily problems. It could be problems from your private life which trouble your mind and you cannot invest enough time in your professional life. It could be everything. It could be that you make 3-4 projects this week. My problem is often when I make a lot of projects, difficult projects. For example, now this week I would start a full back piece and next week one more. So I have to make 2 back piece projects for this month. And with the time, this takes me a lot of time, and I think after this, if I have a third one, I will be already lacking of creativity, and then I will feel stuck. But then I take a rest. Then I just take one day off completely of tattooing, completely of doing nothing related to tattoos. Even then I can watch some movie or go out in the city with my son, because I really rarely watch movies. But yeah, I think if you stuck sometimes, or if you feel like you're not doing something well, or at least with me it's like this, it's mostly because I'm overworked, because I'm workaholic and I'm working every day, Sunday, Monday. I mean, not physically working and tattooing, but I'm working on a project, or I'm painting, or I'm doing something related to tattooing and to art. And sometimes you just get tired and you need free. And this is exactly what you're saying. When you get this free time, like even sometimes it's 1, 2, 3 days, and then you come back, bam, and you feel like you level up. And this is exactly what happened. For example, after holidays, I'm always starting the working week with so much power that I'm giving one of my best works after the holidays. And this is because my brain was so much away from tattooing, so much away. Sometimes the break is the thing what your brain needs. And it shows. It happens to everybody. It happens to me. It happens to you. Don't worry, and never lose believing in yourself. You know, it's ups and downs in everywhere. Being disciplined, working hard, working consistently, and you will go through these periods easily, don't worry. But this is part of the game. You have to know that this is part of the game, and with the time you start to understand this stuff, and you start to find the time for break, the time for work, the time for paint and stuff like this. It's really nice. So guys, finally we get it. It's 1 hour and something already, the episode. I really enjoy this kind of work. I speak about a lot of topic. I hope I answer most of your questions properly. Now I'm tired already. But anyway, I really enjoy it. Thank you all for participating in this special episode. And I will post it in the next few days. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you enjoy it also, if you find it useful, whatever. I want to hear your opinion, guys. I make this for you and I really enjoy it. So let me know in the comment what you're thinking, and do you want to make it more often? Yeah, and like this, I will play you now some time lapse of the video or some real-time video on the top, so you're not staring in my face all the time. And that's it. We will hear us very soon. Enjoy your time and stay safe. Thank you very much.